Welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. Gosh, who can believe we're in 2023? Let's start doing our angel readings. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Okay, so I am on Restream, which is a streaming platform. If you ask an angel reading, all you have to do is type it underneath, but I need your name just so I can see who you are, and then off we go. Let me just grab my angel cards because that's what the angels want. Okay, dear Sky, I've been struggling with Candida for an extended period of time. I'm under medical prescription, but with no success. Can you please help me? Thank you. Okay, let's just draw a card. Oh, divine timing. So this illness is a divine timing in disguise. When it comes to Candida and all kinds of mold, okay, it is about resentment and often hidden resentment. Resentment at normally, especially when it comes to Candida, emotional abuse. If it's Candida in the gut, it's normally around emotional abuse, and resentment in the genitals is normally around resentment around sexuality or people not caring about your sexual needs. And the whereas Candida in the feet is to do with resenting moving forward, like not wanting to get a divorce, not wanting to change jobs, not wanting to give up your addiction. There's like this real anger at having to change tends to come up in Candida in the feet. But if you're struggling with Candida, particularly in the genital area, which is what I'm seeing when I'm scanning you, I would have them check you for BV, which is bacterial vaginosis. If you're receiving consistent treatment for Candida and it's not going away, the itching, the burning, and you have constant Candida, I would have them look for bacterial vaginosis as well. Obviously, I'm not like diagnosed, but that's what I would be asking my gynecologist to have a look at. And you want to do a gut cleanse. So we've started a new program called Health Becomes Her. It's launching at the end of January. It's not medical intuitive. It is for doing all the detoxes. So liver flush, heavy metal flush, Candida detox, all that stuff. Because it just makes it so much easier for me if it's all in one place and they're not all separate programs. So I've put it simplified, put it all in one place. So if you want help with that stuff, with the natural detoxing process, we're starting at the end of the month and it lasts the whole year. So we're going to go through all the detoxes in order, and you're going to have group support, and there's a VIP option to have WhatsApp support and one-to-one support as well, okay? But let's call in Archangel Raphael. Let's command an instant healing on your Candida. Ooh, there we go. Gosh, it's actually, when I'm seeing the energy, it's clearing out of your heart. So anyone that's carrying a lot of hidden resentment in their heart, it's like an energy of this situation is never going to change. I can't get out of my marriage. I can't get out of raising these children. I can't get any time to myself. There's this real anger at being trapped. So can we clear that out of the gut? And this energy of swallowing feelings, and pretending you're not being emotionally abused, pretending everything is okay, pretending, and real anger at yourself as well. Oh, for letting yourself get into the situation. So let's just release all that anger. And all this beating yourself up. When we beat ourselves up emotionally, we attract other people that either beat us up physically or beat us up emotionally, right? So if you end up in a situation, whether it's through parenting, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through a career that is an abusive situation, remove yourself from it, right? And do not get involved in the abuse. People who are being abusive will try and suck you in. They'll try and pick arguments. They'll send nasty emails. They'll send nasty text messages. They'll send nasty DMs. It just sucks your energy, and it doesn't change how they feel or how they behave. People behave how they are, and most of their wounds have nothing to do with you, even if they're projecting it on you. And you'll see that because when you have problems with people that aren't coming from a wounded place, you solve problems and they get resolved relatively quickly. Right? It doesn't mean you necessarily get your way, but you're in communication, you understand what's going on. So can we release this energy of, it's my own fault, I married the wrong person, I had kids with the wrong person, I should never have been with that narcissist. And just the truth is you did the best you could at the time. Right? Nobody wears abuser on their forehead, otherwise they would never get away with it. They'd be a social pariah. These aren't things that are obvious. These are things that have to be discovered or experienced. Okay. Okay, that's clearing nicely. So I'm just going to do an energy break and move on. Love you. Love you too, darling. Again, Happy New Year for all of those of you that have just joined or jumped on. I missed you all a lot, and I'm very, very glad to be back. Okay. Hi, Amelia here. Happy New Year. Could you please talk about taxes? I have massive resistance to paying them, which stops me from expanding. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to bring in Archangel Shamuel, who's the angel of abundance. And we're just going to start releasing your anger at paying bills. So taxes is another bill, right? It's a bill from the government. So when you resent money that you pay out to people, to anyone, whether it's your partner, whether it's your government, whether it's the water or the gas or the electricity, whether it's your employees, even whether it's paying yourself, right, or your kids or whoever it is that you resent giving money to, guess what? When you give out resentful money comes back to you. And trust me, one thing you do not want is a government angry at you, because government bills are just a pain in the ass, right? I personally don't like paying taxes for one simple reason. I don't like anybody putting my money towards murder or war, and I have absolutely no control over what the government does with tax, neither does anybody else. But it's a fact of life. So the way that I cleared my resistance to taxes, right, is by realizing that the good that I can do, the impact that I can make on humanity and in the world is very different, right, and much bigger than the damage that taxes will ever do. So you can do it one of two ways. You can either do it like I did, and you can be like, okay, I know that it's not a good thing to do, in the sense of the government can use it for whatever they want, and they aren't necessarily using it for good things. They use it for war and, all sorts of things they shouldn't use it for, but they also do use it for school systems, road repairs, hospitals. So it's not all bad, right? So it's that perspective of it's not that bad. And number two, the real issue, and you please don't hate me, guys, the real issue that we're working on whenever it comes to being angry at paying someone is greed. Sorry, I'm just going to let that settle for a minute. The real issue that you're working on when you're angry at paying anyone, right, is greed. So can we release the belief that there is not going to be enough? Because that's where greed comes from. There's not going to be enough money to pay the government, to pay the employees, to pay for the groceries, to pay the bills. There's not going to be enough left for me. And then the ego uses this belief to justify the anger, but also the I'm not paying for that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And then the things that you don't invest in, like your health, like your tax, like your sales and marketing, like whatever it is that you don't invest in because you think I don't have enough money for that, then creates not having enough money. So this is what the ego does. It sets you up for the fall, and then it kicks you when you're down. I'm not going to make more money because I don't want to pay more tax. Therefore, I will always be stuck in never having enough to pay tax and never having enough to not mind. So the way that people who are wealthy get around this is they create trusts. They don't actually own anything. They put all of their companies in a holding trust, and all of the money is taxed through the companies and goes through the companies, including their home that they live in, and everything that they own. So if you don't want to pay any tax, from like a personal perspective and only have your companies paying tax, so you need to incorporate a company and you need to create a trust, and it will hold your companies in trust, right? Oh, I'm getting goosebumps as I say that. So that's definitely somebody really needed to hear that. So you can create trusts and then a holding company to hold your other companies. But for the first step is to release the resentment towards the government and forgive them. Right? Forgive them for not having given us financial education. Forgive them for not having, for basically having kept us as workers or job people and taught us that we need a job and that's supposed to pay for our bills and the pension, instead of that we're supposed to be abundant beings. You have to forgive them for the lifetimes that's been stolen from you or that's been taken from you, so that you can outgrow them. Paying the government tax is no different than paying rent. Nobody wants to pay rent. But until you have your own home or you own your land, that's the way that is, right? So resentment doesn't change anything. Doesn't change the fact that you have to pay rent, doesn't change the fact that you have to pay taxes. It just slows you down. So can we release that? Resentment at paying taxes, resentment at paying water bills, resentment at paying gas bills, resentment at paying for websites, resentment at paying for employees, resentment at this core belief. Let's just release that belief there's not going to be enough and change it to there will be enough. And the definition of an investment is that you see that return in the future. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So can we also download you that you're allowed to, and you need to make time to learn about tax? It's one of your biggest expenses, so you better learn about it. And that you're also allowed to get help. Like, I'm dyslexic and dysgraphic, so I have an accountant. I have what's it called? I have a member of a staff that's very good with finances where I'm weak, and I have to have conversations with that person on a regular basis. Okay, slow down, slow down. Hold the rail. Hold the rail. Hold the rail. Hold the rail. Okay, that's looking a lot better. The book I recommend that you read is Why the Rich Get Richer. You know the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad? He wrote a book called Why the Rich Get Richer, and it will give you the exact strategies and tools for creating systems that let you use tax for you. It's going to blow your mind. If you really want to be financially intelligent, you have to break down some old paradigms. It's really going to blow your mind. He even talks about how the rich use debt to make money, and how debt is how money is created, which is the opposite of what we're taught. We're taught debt is bad. And rich people, including banks, right, encourage us to get into debt because that's how they make money. So it's a complete paradigm shift. But if you're asking for infinite abundance, then you have to outgrow the paradigm that you're in. And he goes into depth about the tax, about debt, about systems and structures that allow you to build and grow your wealth and invest your wealth. Okay, so if you want real practical, that's one of the books that is my go-to. The other one is Money Mastery by Anthony Robbins. He convinced some of the best investors in the world almost 10 years ago now to open up their portfolios, and also goes into depth into money management and what real financial freedom is and what it looks like. Because most of us think financial freedom is just about being able to pay your bills, and that's not financial freedom. It's not the definition of financial freedom at all. So he goes into depth about what it means. It's a proper chunky monkey of a book, but it is worth a read. If you think or listen, right, you can buy it on Audible. But what I need to really explain to you is that much as you think you understand money, you have been lied to. You do not. You cannot. If somebody hadn't taught you maths for, the first 10 years of your life, you would understand that it would take you at least 1 to 3 years to master the concept of maths, right? It often takes 1 to 3 years to learn a language, and it will probably take you a minimum of a year, a maximum of 3 to 4 years to learn and master financial literacy. And it's okay to invest that time. Because it's a complex thing, and it's an education, and you're worthy of that. Okay, but you're not going to be able to think critically or make decisions on your own unless you understand it, and it's a really important thing to understand. Okay, nice energy break. Amelia saying, hi Sky, happy new year. Oh, we just did Amelia. Kisses saying, what's happening with my relationship? His name is Greg. Okay, let's pull out an angel card. Let's see. Angels. Oh, so you've got the compassion card, and you can see there's a male angel hugging a female angel here, right? So it's an energy of like needing that. We're going to bring in Archangel Shamuel and Archangel Raguel, and just pour the energy of mercy and compassion, this beautiful golden light, over your relationship. Now, the angels are also showing me that there's a bit of a lack of compassion as well, in the sense of so men think they understand women, and women think they understand men. But the truth is, it's very, very hard to walk in someone else's shoes. So can you just hand over all your judgments that you have towards Greg, all the analysis, all the overthinking, all the trying to figure out his motives and why he's doing things? Can you hand that over to the angels? Because that really clogs up the energy in the relationship. If you can feel someone doesn't trust you, and that they're angry and resentful towards you, and that they're already like building a wall, it makes it very hard to communicate. It blocks the miracle. So you want to give all that to Creator, to God, to the angels. Oh. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Hi, Sky. Can you tell me a message from my angels regarding what to do now? Okay, let's do another one. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Self-care. So particularly after the Christmas period, we had a massive full moon and a Mercury retrograde, and this real energy of all these patterns. Last year was so busy for so many people that they didn't have time to do their healing. They really didn't. They kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then it all kind of, kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and kept like manifesting over and over again because they weren't getting to the root of the problem and they weren't feeling their feelings, right? Because what happens when you feel your feelings is that they change you. They change you. The way that you used to respond changes. The things that you used to accept change. And the people that you used to connect with also change because they're not comfortable with your rules changing. So if you used to let somebody take all your time and your energy in your DMs, for example, and suddenly you're like, look, I don't do free sessions anymore, that person is going to get triggered. If you used to let your partner speak to you in a particular way and swear at you or raise their voice to you, and now you're saying, I will not be spoken to like that. If you continue to speak to me like that, this relationship is going to be over. Right? You can express your feelings, but you have to do so in a respectful and kind manner. You will anger people because you have changed, and people that were getting something, whether it's some kind of emotional significance, whether it was being able to relieve their own pain or their own anger because they were verbalizing it or dumping it on you, whether it's people that were getting your time and your energy, your free resources, right, are going to be angry at you, especially with self-care, because if people were getting their time from you not taking any, right? Particularly if it's your husband or if it's your kids, if they were getting more time because you were doing all the chores and you were doing all the cooking and you were doing all the cleaning and you were doing all of the stuff regards to the childcare, and suddenly you're saying, can you do bedtime? I'm going to the gym. Can you cook a meal? I'm going to speak to a friend. They will feel like they're losing their time, right? When the reality is that things are back in balance. They've just allowed things to get out of balance for a very long time. So any part of you, because you see this angel's crying, right? And also washing their face. So it's this energy of, like Rachel Hollis's girl wash your face. It's this energy of you putting in boundaries means that you will get resistance. And it does mean that you will get some people bad mouthing you and hating you and talking badly about you. And for me, this was even increased by having a team, because then not only did I have to stand up for my own boundaries, I had to stand up for my team's boundaries, because no one's allowed to abuse the team, right? And that was super hard for me in the beginning, because before I'm so, I sometimes I don't know, like I have to look at all the evidence before I know what I'm supposed to do as the leader of a group, right? And I have to do the right thing as opposed to, being behind who I may like the most or who I may have the strongest friendship with. So these things all involve emotional musculature that I had to learn to flex, right? So can we release this belief that it's going to be easy taking more self-care? Because that's why so many women and so many men give up, is that in the beginning, we actually get more resistance from other people, but it's still so profoundly, deeply important, right? So self-care, real self-care, and real self-care is not just about bubble baths and gyms and conversations with friends. It's about sorting out the finances. It's about showing up and selling every day in your business. It's about being able to be honest and expressing your feelings. And I'm going to put a caveat on that one because I think it's really important. We really live in a culture where we believe that we have the right, if we think we are the victim, to abuse other people. The rule that I use is simple. I don't speak to people in an abusive way. I don't send abusive text messages. I don't send abusive emails. Anything that you need to say can be said in a loving and in a kind way. It is not about what the other person did or did not do. It is about who you are. Because if you allow somebody to change who you are, right? And if you are writing abusive DMs, abusive emails, abusive texts, because somebody else isn't behaving properly, then you are getting sucked into the energy of abuse. And trust me when I say you don't want to leave that door open. You don't want to leave that door open to other abusive people. You don't want to leave that door open karmically. You don't want to leave that door open, period. You want that door locked. You want it locked tight, right? So you can protect yourself. You can defend yourself from a very strong, very assertive, very kind way. There's a very good book that Doreen Virtue wrote. I'm not sure if it's still in publication, but it was called Assertiveness for Earth Angels, that will help you do that. And it really helped me be able to have my own back, say no, and not let people push me around, even if I had to say no many times over to the exact same question, because people will often test boundaries, especially if they get something right from you not having a boundary. Okay. Margarita is saying, hi, I want to ask if my financial situation and business will triumph in the next 3 months. Thank you. Okay, so I heard your angels say, show up, show up, show up, show up. I think they're showing me like you doing a lot of back end stuff and you not being very visible. So that I can hear the word show up, show up, show up, show up. So please like show your face every day, whether that's you are understood. So it's this energy of like they're saying, show your face, trust that there are people out there who understand you as you are. Stop hiding, really share who you are with your audience, and it will attract in the right people for you. But I'm getting such strong guidance from you that your success, your victory in the situation relies on you showing up. And if you're an introvert, that can mean you show up by, taking a selfie and putting it on your social media posts instead of pictures of things that people don't connect to or don't relate with. It can mean that you're doing your social media every day instead of doing it, sporadically. It means that you really have to focus on your sales and your marketing. What most spiritual entrepreneurs in particular do is we focus on only the service and the customer care, and that's not what moves the needle in your business. What moves the needle in your business is the marketing, because marketing is communication. So if you think of the word marketing as community, right? If you are not talking to your community on a regular basis, they don't know who you are and they don't trust you. So you have to communicate, right? So you need to be talking to them on a regular basis, whether that's, by copy, by writing copy, whether that's by videos, whether that's by podcasts. You need to be talking, you need to be nurturing, you need to be loving on them on a regular basis. And of course, you need to be doing the back end and the customer care. But I like I just said to you guys, there is no way of making everybody like you. As DT Von T said, you could be the juiciest peach and there'll still be somebody that doesn't like peaches. You can be the most spiritual person on the planet and there'll be somebody that doesn't like spirituality. You have to learn to do you and deliver the best that you can deliver without having to prove yourself all the time by making things perfect. So can we release your fear that this is about something outside of your control and show you that it's safe for you to show up, it's safe for you to be more visible? There we go. Okay, I'm going to do an energy break. Charlie. Hi, Charlie. He's saying, hi, Sky. I'd love a reading. I have 2 female connections at the moment, and I'd love some insight if you can feel anything. Okay, you have some very bossy guardian angels over here that are just going, stop it. So I'm just asking them what it is exactly they want you to stop. Oh, shielding. So let's take a moment to just put up psychic protection around you. And I'm really getting strong guidance that you need to do work in believing in the one. because there's like a bottom belief or a deep unconscious belief that you don't believe that there's a one, that there's a one woman or a one soulmate for you. There's like an energy of there's like multiple people. Like you said, there's two female connections, but this is not unique to this relationship for you. That's what they're showing me. This is not unique to this relationship. You have a belief that there's lots of people, and it's up to you to make the right choice. But you make the right choice by knowing who the one is for you, right? Of course, there will always be multiple soulmates, but you need to know who the one is for you. Okay, the two beliefs are not mutually exclusive. Knowing that there is a one doesn't mean you're saying there's only one soulmate. It means you're saying you know which one is for you. There we go. That's shifting. Now, you need to understand that this, like you being with more than one person or showing energy to more than one person, is what's causing the psychic attack. That's what they're showing me. So can we just pour so much forgiveness and mercy and release all the psychic attack, woof, that's on you from you seeing multiple people? Ooh. Okay, that's looking a lot better. So there's a real energy here. See, this thing is almost falling over backwards. There's this real energy here of this is going to be difficult to repair. Okay, the trust in these relationships is going to be difficult to repair. And I would really start looking at where you don't trust yourself to choose. You don't trust yourself to find the one. You don't believe you're worthy of being happy. So this energy of choosing people who will attack you emotionally, psychically, when you don't do what they want, right, is an energy of unworthiness. It's an energy of you believing that you're not worth respect. You're not worth communication, that if you are not controlled by somebody, then you are not worthy of love. So can we release that as well, please? Just go, 44 people watching. Angel numbers are kind of really strongly confirming that. Gonna do an energy break. Woo! And next one. Jennifer saying, so excited to start Medical Intuitive today. I'm really excited as well. And all of the feedback is already starting to stream in, and people are starting to do their homework and they're starting to do the clearings. I spent the whole morning in a team meeting getting organized and getting prepared, but I can feel you and I am ridiculously excited. I am my heart, God's still my beating heart. And we already have 10 people for the spring round of Medical Intuitive. So if you guys are thinking about doing this, it's time to kind of put your deposit down. So let me know if you're interested in a spring cohort of Medical Intuitive. Okay, I can already feel the resistance and fear coming up around medical. Yep, would love some guidance from the angels to navigate through this, please. So I'm going to bring in the virtue of courage for you and for everyone else setting out on their spiritual growth this year, whether that's through Medical Intuitive or whether that's through whatever modality that it is that you've chosen, because change requires courage. Okay. Okay, now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to acknowledge that this requires courage. And I want you to say out loud to yourself, I can do hard things. I can do hard things. I'm crushing generational patterns that have been holding humanity's health back, or humanity's finances back, or humanity's families back for generations. Okay. I'm also going to do an instant healing on your heart chakra. This time is different. This lifetime is different. This lifetime you do win. This lifetime you do succeed. This lifetime you do break the curse of poverty. This lifetime you do break the curse of sickness. This lifetime you do get to live your divine life purpose. This lifetime is different. This time is different. There we go. Whew. Okay. Katie Hodge is saying, good morning, love. I hope you had a great break. We just found out we're expecting and I'm very excited, but there's a part of me that's nervous. Can you do a scan and see what comes up? Not having space and time immediately. I'm just going to draw an angel card for you, but that's what's coming up. Okay. Believe in yourself. So the transition when you're going from being a mom of one or a mom of two to a mom of three, or a mom of one to being a mom of two, or becoming a first-time mom is a massive initiation. And there's a real fear that we won't be able to do it, and a whole new level of mommy guilt, because now we don't just have to divide our time between the business, the partner, and the child. We have to divide our time between the two children, the business, the partner, and the child. So can we release all this mommy guilt? And also show you that you're worthy of support. Okay. Oh, and we're just going to command Archangel Gabriel to come in and support you throughout the whole of this pregnancy. Okay. Amelia saying, hi, Skylar. I have a lump in my left armpit. It's causing pain and sweat outbreaks. The doctor can feel it, but none of the specialists I've been referred to can locate any abnormalities. Thank you. Okay, so let's just start by sending a healing to your whole endocrine system. They're showing me it's a heavy metal detox you need, darling. So things like putting the bentonite clay down, or bentonite clay packs, or castor oil packs, just putting them straight on your armpit. Okay, that's looking a lot better as well. Haha, yes, medical intuitive family. I'm in the USA and I woke up early and I can't wait to get into the first module. Yeah, I know. I know. Okay, I see 3 or 3 or 3 a lot. I was wondering what message the angels have for me. Thank you. So 3 means the ascended masters are around you and they want you to invite them into your life. So it means that, Jesus, Kuan Yin, um, Archangel Michael, or Buddha are trying to connect with you. And that you need to ask them. So the same thing with the angels, they can be right there, but unless you say, angels, help me with this reading, angels, help me with this car park space, angels, help me to organize this house, angels, help me to build this team, angels, help me to strengthen my leadership skills. Okay, unless you ask them, invite them in, then your level of consciousness is what's being used to solve the problem. So the reason that we choose spiritual teachers or gurus or masters, living or dead, right, is because when we join our mind with the mind of somebody who already has a connection with God, who already has that virtue of courage or strength or grace or peace or kindness, right? Anyone who already has that, then you are not just opening yourself up to a higher shift in consciousness, but you are getting access to that vibrational blueprint. And mind's in train, which means that if you're around somebody else who's constantly in theta or constantly in delta or constantly in beta, your need for unity is so strong that whoever's more consistent in their brain waves, your brain will match. Okay, so it's when they're saying 3 and it's pay attention. The ascended masters are talking to you and they want to help you and they're close to you, but you need to invite them in. It's not enough to pray. You actually have to say, I'm asking you to solve this situation. I'm asking you to come in and help me with the laundry, with my child, with my partner, with the money situation, and then get out of the way. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the lucky girl syndrome, but I've been using this affirmation. It's gone viral on TikTok, and I'm going to make a TikTok about it today. But I had the best day on Saturday with my son because of the lucky girl syndrome, because I started saying, I'm lucky, everything goes my way. And I used to use this all the time because I used to listen to Paul McKenna, and Paul McKenna wrote a whole book on being lucky. And I used to listen to his hypnosis on being lucky, and I totally forgot about it. And this lucky girl syndrome brought it back into my life as a manifestation thing. So there were just so many manifestations. But it started off in the morning with me waking up, and I wanted a specific dish for breakfast along with avocados, and my husband wanted pancakes, but that just happened, this is the luck thing, that there wasn't the ingredients in the house for pancakes, but there was the right ingredients for avocado toast, right? So we ended up having avocado toast for breakfast. And then we took my son on a day trip out because it's the last weekend of the holidays. So we took him to the Sea Life Center, and my husband was saying that it would be expensive and it was just a small Sea Life Center. And I was just, happily getting on with my day, but I've been using this affirmation. And the affirmation is, everything works out for me. Everything goes my way. I'm a really lucky person. I'm really blessed by God. And I was ahead because I needed to go to the toilet. Women are like, we reach the place and I'm like, I need to go to the toilet. So my husband and my son are playing by the seaside. I'm like, I'm just going to run up to the aquarium and I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then I got to this junction and there was two big buildings and they both could have been the aquarium, and I wasn't sure which one it was. So this family is coming down the ramp and I say to them, is that one the aquarium or is this one the aquarium? And they point back up the hill and they go, that one's the aquarium. And I'm like, thank you so much. I really need the bathroom. And before I can walk past them, the gentleman puts his hand on my arm and goes, we've just finished for the day. We have a ticket for 4 people. I think you can use it because we're not going to go back in. So I was given a free ticket for the day at the aquarium, right? Including all the feedings and things, the extra things that you get for the children without me even having to ask. They just kept getting better and better. I wanted really good vegan food. So we normally go to one vegan place in this little town that has the aquarium. And we went to the vegan place, but it said that they weren't serving, the kitchen was closed. And my husband said to me, and he's a very good manifestor, my husband was like, oh, what are we going to do now? And I was like, no, this is just the universe redirecting. I've been doing a lot of manifesting because it's the new year, so let's see where it's redirecting us to. And we ended up in a completely different restaurant that we've never eaten before, that had vegan everything, vegan pizzas, vegan risottos, vegan ice cream, vegan kids menu. We ended up having a proper feast. Everything that could have gone into alignment went into alignment that day, including me signing up 3 different new clients and having extra people join Medical Intuitive, even though it's supposed to be closed in that day, because I kept saying everything's going my way, right? So believing that you're lucky, and in Christianity we call it having God's favor, is a very powerful thing. So call in your angels, call in your ascended masters, but start saying that you're lucky. Start saying that things go your way. See what happens. Okay. Ooh, the next person saying, hi Sky, I'd be grateful if I could get a reading on when I'll meet my divine life partner and relocating with him. So it's saying expression. Whenever this card comes up, it shows me that you're not really understanding or not really being clear about what it is that you want or need in a soulmate. And this often comes up when you don't know yourself. So what the angels are showing me, oh, you've got 3 cards, not one, so that's self-reflection. So what I normally tell people to do when this card comes up is to journal. Right? It means that for whatever reason, whether it's a lot of spiritual growth or a lot of time being busy, that you no longer know who you are, that you need to reconnect with yourself and figure out who you are now, that you're manifesting from an old identity or who you used to be instead of who you are now. So self-reflection time, you can see the cards upside down, which basically means you haven't really been reflecting on what you want. And that's a big one for women in general, because we often don't know what we want. And then that's bad for manifesting. You have to know what you want, and look, you already know. So there's an energy of you have to ask for what you want and you have to believe you're worthy of it. And what's coming up as I'm tuning into you is they're saying that you really want to be taken care of. There's an energy, I don't know if it's even hidden from you, because it's like I'm ashamed of wanting to be a wife. I'm ashamed of wanting to be a mom. I'm ashamed of not wanting more from my life. And it's reminding me of a video I watched a couple of days ago where the woman said, this is my class's face, and like those 2 massive eyeballs, me telling them that I want to be a wife and a mom and I want to raise my kids. There's nothing shameful about wanting to be at home. Nothing. It is a beautiful divine life purpose, and they are shaming women away from wanting to have families and take care of families. There's nothing just about taking care of a family. It is a full-time job. It just means you have to apply for a job and to have a partner that can take care of you, and you have to be allowed to ask for what you want and know what you want and allow yourself to be provided for. So it's really about doing a digging or a healing around provision and being provided for by a partner and by your divine purpose. Okay. Hi, Sky. Would be grateful if I could get a reading on when I will meet my divine life partner. Oh, we just did that one. Hi, Sky. Would love to know more about my continuous health issues with back and stomach. So one of the reasons that I love working with health is that the body does not lie, right? People do, but the body does not, right? So, and whereas in other areas, people can be very successful financially and not be in alignment. People can be very successful in relationships or family and not be in alignment. But health is all about alignment. So if you are not supported, your back is going to tell you. If you are not able to swallow the way someone is talking to you, or what's happening in your life, or how difficult a situation is, your stomach will tell you, right? You can't stomach it. What's making you sick? So when you say continuous health issues, what are your continuous belief and emotional patterns? And with stomach in particular, it tends to be anxiety. So it's going to be an entrenched anxiety pattern that's probably even in the DNA and ancestral line when I'm scanning you, right? The anxiety that it's so part of your identity that you're not even trying to heal it anymore. You just think you're going to have to live with the anxiety for the rest of your life, right? And stomach, and people will say, I don't have the stomach for it, right? Which is, I don't have the courage, the boundaries, the strength to hold my ground against the resistance that I'm facing, whether that's from abusive people, whether that's from a toxic group dynamic or work environment, but where are you just going along with things that you know you shouldn't be going along with, right? Whether that's an addiction that runs in the family, whether that's a pattern of somebody leaving all the childcare to you and not raising their own kids, whether that's a pattern of constantly undercharging. What is the pattern that you are just going along with? And we're the new year. This is the perfect time for making changes because the collective consciousness is focused on change, right? So if you want to make a change, you're in that swell of the wave where everybody's going, now is the time for a change. So it's easier to make a change now than at points of the year where people are just in the grind, right? So can we just bring in Archangel Raphael and his band of mercy, and we're going to ask for an instant healing on your gut and your back. And we're also going to ask the Archangel Uriel to come in to give you the courage to block out time to complete your projects. Now, this is massive, and I mean massive, 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 because so many healers, and I'd say because so many healers are creative or kind of ungrounded, we are terrible at project management. Terrible. We underestimate how much the project is going to cost. We underestimate how long the project is going to take. We underestimate the organization that's going to be required. We leave everything to last minute. We don't properly communicate with ourselves or with others what we're doing, especially when it comes to our own projects, and then we sabotage it before it even begins, right? So as a rule, when I'm healing an issue in myself, I will dedicate between 4 to 6 healing sessions for that one issue. That is the issue I'm working on for that month or over 2 months. No matter what else happens, that is the issue that I'm working on. And the reason I say no matter what else happens is because the issue is never the issue. And very often the universe will show you other things happening whilst you're healing it to get you to the root or to get you to the bottom. So don't follow red herrings. Don't get distracted. You're working on that issue and that issue only until it's resolved, right? Between 4 to 8 sessions. And don't work on it with somebody that is like, that knows you. Work on it in a proper container, because what will happen if people know you is that they may have gain, like they may want something from you, whether that's a job or whether that's an opportunity or whether that's just you being nice to them and not rocking the boat of the friendship, and then they don't do the digging properly or they don't push your buttons. A therapist's job is not to be your friend. A therapist's job is to get you results. And that sometimes means they have to piss you off. They have to go places with you that you don't want to go. You're not going to let your friends or people that you want to see you a particular way go certain places in your unconscious mind or in your history, right? Your unconscious mind's job is to keep you safe. So it doesn't necessarily have to be paid, but it does have to be a proper therapeutic container with somebody who you don't have an agenda with on an unconscious level, or you're not trying to control how they see you or like you or want you, so that you can actually focus on your own healing, right? And getting to the roots of the issues and changing. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave it. Make the proper time and dedicate that time, because otherwise, like you said, it will be forever. It will keep going, right? And clear the belief that nobody can help you, because that's the number one issue that comes up when people get long-term recurring health issues. Nobody can help me and nothing works for me. No modality works, no diet works, nothing works for me. Those will keep you stuck forever in a health pattern. So you have to work on those two beliefs. Hi, Sky. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, darling. I've been doing very well following the Candida diet through the book Beat Candida through diet and gave up sugar, coffee, I'm doing combination food choices, taking Dida from Holland and Barrett to help with Candida. My nose has increased mucus. I wake up with a dry mouth and mucus on my tongue. Is this due to the cleanse in my body getting ready to do liver detox? The extra nose and lungs is your body starting to detox and get rid of the Candida. Okay, Candida has die-off, very, very strong die-off, which you'll know if you're doing any kind of Candida cleanse. It has very strong die-off, and you'll often feel like you're dying because the Candida is dying, and the Candida's beliefs and your beliefs will get wrapped up or tangled or enmeshed. This is due to my body ready to liver detox. I did my first water enema after getting a kit, thank you. My nose has been really bad running, discharge, etc. Is this food intolerance to garlic this morning? It's not food intolerance. It's an candida causes allergies. So it's your body getting rid of the gunk. Um, it's your body getting rid of the gunk. So I wouldn't obviously, I cannot give you medical advice and I'm not your nutritionist, okay? I don't know your medical history, but I would never ever recommend that somebody do a liver flush at the same time as a candida cleanse. It's too much at once, okay? It's too much at once on your body and one will sabotage the other. If you're in the middle of doing a candida cleanse, stick it out. Don't do a liver cleanse. Keep going. Do, by all means, do a colonic, which will really help with all of this. And you may want to introduce something like a parasite cleanse at the same time, but I would not, whatever you do a liver cleanse at the same time as a candida cleanse. It's too hard on your body, okay? Especially if you're doing like the Andreas Moritz protocol. Okay, I'm going to stop here and do our closing prayer, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow for more angel readings. Happy New Year. It's lovely to be with you all. I missed you. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. See you tomorrow, same time, same place.